Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff. It is Thursday, November 3rd, 2022. We're here for our daily lectionary readings. With us coming into Thursday, we're looking ahead to what is going to be happening on Sunday. Psalm 17, 1 through 9 is the psalm reading. Deuteronomy 25, 5 through 10 is our Old Testament reading. Acts 22, verse 22, then going all the way through chapter 23, verse 11, is our New Testament reading. Let us take a listen in. Psalm 17. Listen while I build my case, God. The most honest prayer you'll ever hear. Show the world I'm innocent. In your heart, you know I am. Go ahead. Examine me from inside out. Surprise me in the middle of the night. You'll find I'm just what I say I am. My words don't run loose. I'm not trying to get my way in the world's way. I'm trying to get your way, your word's way. I'm staying on your trail. I'm putting one foot in front of the other. I'm not giving up. I called to you, God, because I'm sure of an answer. So answer. Bend your ear. Listen sharp. Paint grace graffiti on the fences. Take in your frightened children who are running from the neighborhood bullies straight to you. Keep your eye on me. Hide me under your cool wing feathers from the wicked who are out to get me, from mortal enemies closing in. Our Old Testament reading, Deuteronomy chapter 25, verses 5 through 10. When brothers are living together and one of them dies without having had a son, the widow of the dead brother shall not marry a stranger from outside the family. Her husband's brother is to come to her and marry her and do the brother-in-law's duty by her. The first son that she bears shall be named after her dead husband, so his name won't die out in Israel. But if the brother doesn't want to marry his sister-in-law, she is to go to the leaders at the city gate and say, my brother-in-law refuses to keep his brother's name alive in Israel. He won't agree to do the brother-in-law's duty by me. Then the leaders will call for brother and confront him. If he stands there defiant and says, I don't want her, his sister-in-law is to pull his sandal off his foot, spit in his face, and say, this is what happens to the man who refuses to build up the family of his brother. His name in Israel, I will be. Family, no sandal. Our New Testament reading comes from the book of Acts, chapter 22, verse 22. And we'll go through chapter 23, verse 11. The people in the crowd had listened attentively up to this point, but now they broke loose, shouting out, kill him! He's an insect! Stomp on him! They shook their fists. They filled the air with curses. Then when the captain intervened and ordered Paul taken back into the barracks, by now the captain was thoroughly exasperated. He decided to interrogate Paul under torture in order to get to the bottom of this, to find out what he had done that provoked this outrage violence. As they spread-eagled him with strips of leather, getting him ready for the whip, Paul said to the centurion standing there, is this legal? Torturing a Roman citizen without a fair trial? When the centurion heard that, he went directly to his captain. Do you realize what you've done? This man is a Roman citizen. The captain came back and took charge. Is what I hear right? You're a Roman citizen? Paul said, I certainly am. The captain was impressed. I paid a huge sum for my citizenship. How much did it cost you? Nothing, said Paul. It cost me nothing. I was free from the day of my birth. That put a stop to the interrogation, and it put the fear of God into the captain. He had put a Roman citizen in chains and come within a whisker of putting him under torture. The next day, determined to get to the root of the trouble and know for sure what was behind this Jewish accusation, the captain released Paul and ordered a meeting of the high priest and the high council to see what they could make of it. Paul was led in and took his place before them. Paul surveyed the members of the council with a steady gaze and then said his piece. Friends, I've lived with a clear conscience before God all my life, up to this very moment. That set the chief priest Ananias off. He ordered his aides to slap Paul in the face. Paul shot back. God will slap you down. What a fake you are. You sit there and judge me by the law, and then break the law by ordering me slapped around. The aides were scandalized. How dare you talk to God's chief priest like that? Paul acted surprised. How was I to know he was the chief priest? He doesn't act like a chief priest. You're right. The scripture does say, don't speak abusively to a ruler of the people. Sorry. Paul, knowing some of the council was made up of Sadducees and other Pharisees and how they hated each other, decided to exploit their antagonism. Friends, I am a stalwart Pharisee from a long line of Pharisees. It's because of my Pharisee conviction, the hope in the resurrection of the dead, that I've been hauled into this court. The moment he said this, the council split right down the middle. Pharisees and Sadducees going at each other in heated arguments. Sadducees had nothing to do with the resurrection or angels or even a spirit. If they can't see it, they don't believe it. Pharisees believe it all. And so a huge and noisy quarrel broke out. Then some of the religion scholars on the Pharisee side shouted down the others, "We don't find anything wrong with this man. And what if a spirit has spoken to him? Or maybe an angel? What if it turns out that we are fighting against God?" That was the fuel in the fire. The quarrel flamed up and became so violent that the captain was afraid they would tear Paul apart, limb from limb. He ordered the soldiers to get him out of there and escort him back to the safety of the barracks. That night, the master appeared to Paul. "It's going to be all right. Everything is going to turn out for the best. You've been a good witness for me here in Jerusalem. Now you are going to be my witness in Rome." And here ends our readings for the day.